Do you think you're going to become a star, and do you care if you do?
It's about a girl who's just different.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy I can't even deal with it.
I've grown used to hearing the name Taylor Swift without really understanding it. Like, who is she, actually? How's one person arguably the biggest artist on the planet? Why is she so loved yet so hated? And what's the story behind all of it? Because the truth is, most people only see the surface. So over the past month, I've went on a deep dive into her past, her decisions, her rise, and the moments that nearly broke everything.
And I've been doing this for 15 years and I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of the...
And what I found was a story far bigger than music. So let me show you the rise and domination of Taylor Swift.
Music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Taylor Swift.
Yay! Taylor! Hooray! Hooray!
Taylor Swift was born in the winter of 1989 in Pennsylvania. Her early childhood wasn't surrounded by music. It was quiet, safe, and family-oriented. But she did love singing. She was actually quite terrible, as any kid would. Looking at it from above, there was no way this kid could one day become one of the biggest musicians of all time. You see, young Taylor was very creative. She often made up stories and being very expressive. However, at the age of 6, she was introduced to the world of music.
I think when I was 6 years old and I first got the LeAnn Rimes album, I was just dead set. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be like her. When I first got her album, Blue, I was crazy over it. I would play that album over and over and over and again. And I mean, I just was totally dead set that that was what I was gonna do.
And young Taylor fell in love with this new world of music. That's when a dream started to form, that she's going to be a star.
Trying to do, it's been what I've been living for my entire life, is to just get to a point where I can do what I love so that people can see.
Picking up a guitar at about age 12. Not long after that, she and her family made a decision to move to Nashville so she could pursue her music career. At this time, she was only 13 to 14 years old. This is actually very important to Taylor's story because it shows how supportive her parents were and how crucial that was to her success. After moving to Nashville, Taylor didn't try to become a singer. She focused on songwriting. She spent her time writing constantly.
I have to write a song about it. I have to write a poem about it. Writing is everything to me. If I didn't have that as a release, I think I'd go crazy because, I mean, when I go through something, that's how I relieve my stress. I write a poem about it, I write a song about it. I write in my journal every single night, so music and writing all together, I really can't picture my life without it.
And at just 14 years old, she landed a publishing deal with Sony, making her one of the youngest songwriters ever signed. Now she wasn't just chasing her dream, she was inside the industry.
And I got a job as a songwriter for Sony ATV Publishing when I was 14.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
that's
yes.
where the money is, writing your own songs. That's smart.
I guess.
Yeah.
Before I move on, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. I really like asking in the middle of the video so you know if you like my content or not. This would mean the world to me, thank you so much. But what she didn't know at the time was signing to a label would later almost kill her career entirely. But for now, she was just a teenager who had just stepped onto a big label. She wasn't known yet, her name wasn't out there, but very soon, that was about to change. At 16, Taylor released her first hit, Timmy Grew, and almost overnight, a whole new world of music opened up.
4 months ago when I would get 3 emails a day and be like, oh my God, you know, and now I get like 300 emails a day. And it's so overwhelming to me. And we just hit like 2 million plays of my single since it came out in June. So
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How was it the first time, let's say you're driving in a car and you're with your friends or whatever, and you hear you all of a sudden hear the song and you go, wait a minute, that's me. Is that how
the first time that happened in Nashville. That's where I live. So I'm driving down the road, and this was like 3 days after the single came out. So I'm just driving down the road. I still kind of had a normal life. And so the song just comes on the radio, and I literally almost drove off the road and died. And that would have been it. this is what I've asked for my entire life. This is the one thing that I wanted. And the fact that I actually get to do it.
But this wasn't that huge. Yeah, she had a hit. But this is where most artists fall off. They have one hit, then vanish, like they never existed. And it's safe to say, she wasn't big yet. She was still unknown to most of the population, with artists like Michael Jackson having control over the music industry at this point of time. She needed something crucial to happen to launch her into the masses, and then everything started to change. In 2008, Taylor Swift released an album called Fearless. And this wasn't just another release, it was a breakout.
Making Fearless happened over the course of 2 years. I put out my first album and went on non-stop tours. I was the opening act for every country artist out there that was on their headlining tour. And I'm so glad that I took 2 years to make the second album, because what I've always wanted to do, and my main goal above everything else, is to beat what I've done before.
And almost overnight, Taylor Swift was no longer an upcoming artist, she was a star.
But Kanye West has had one of the greatest careers of all time. And right now, I am honored to present the 2015 Vanguard Award to my friend, Kanye West.
This was the point where she couldn't walk down the street anymore like a normal person, without being swarmed by fans. With this single album, she went from a country star to a global one. This was her first real taste at what it's like to be famous, something she had been working towards for her whole life.
My big dream is to look out into a crowd of thousands of people and have them singing the words to my songs. That to me would just be everything I've ever hoped for.
But every good story comes to an end.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
And I was really excited because I had just won the award, and then I was really excited because Kanye West was on the stage. And then I wasn't so excited anymore.
This part of the story starts here, with Kanye West and Taylor Swift. You see, after the incident,
a song on his new album that references Taylor. Quote, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. I made that famous." After those lyrics...
She once looked up to this guy, and to be talked about like this by the guy you looked up to wasn't just right. So she came out saying she never agreed to him making a song like this about her, that this was bullying, and she was being turned into something she wasn't. And for a moment, everyone seemed to be on her side. Kim Kardashian leaked a phone call between Taylor and Kanye in a way that made it seem like Taylor was lying, that she actually agreed to this. And in an instant, everyone turned on her. She was getting attacked left and right.
Hashtag Taylor Swift is over party was the #1 trend on Twitter worldwide. Do you know how many people have to be tweeting that they hate you for that to happen?
Until she did something about it.
It just feels like it's more than music now at this point.
And that something she did was nothing. I am actually not sure why she would do this. She would essentially be leading up to do something, but then she just disappeared. She actually disappeared from the public eye for an entire year. Now look, she was in the right, she had all the reasons to fight, but she didn't. She disappeared, and people forgot about it. But why she disappeared is more complicated, because it's not for one reason. It's actually much deeper.
So to catch anyone up who doesn't know about this saga, like, I signed a record deal when I was 15, and I always kind of refer to it as I got my music back this summer, but I never owned my music at all. So traditionally, a lot of record deals are set up in a way that artists don't own what's called their master recordings. Owning your master recordings means that you have complete control and power over distribution, licensing, and essentially the way your legacy is shaped. It's a huge thing. It's always been a huge thing for me. Like, since I was a teenager, I've been actively saving up money to buy my music back.
So when she disappeared from the public eye for over a year, this wasn't random. It was a plan to fight back. And when she came back, she had something to say. She re-recorded every single one of her albums, and her fans went crazy. She had been gone for over a year, and out of nowhere she comes back bigger than ever. The re-recordings, now branded as Taylor's version, became bigger than the originals. One second everyone was wondering where she was. The next, they couldn't stop talking about her. But the story doesn't end there. It doesn't end with an artist fighting for her music. It gets much bigger. For a few years nothing happened. She went back to her normal life. She went back to being loved. She went back to owning her music. But nothing crazy unfolded until November 2022, when she announced the Eras Tour, a tour where she traveled across the world performing different eras of her career in different countries, and people went crazy. The demand was insane, and as the tour went on, it became the highest grossing tour in history. But it didn't go as perfectly as she expected.
And it was little kids that
You see, an attack happened at Taylor Swift's concert. 3 children got killed. It was a terrorist attack. Terrorists usually love these populated areas where they can kill a lot of people. Luckily, it was able to be stopped before it was a massacre, but that doesn't matter. 3 children still lost their lives, and that should not have happened. Now, she was very sorry. This was truly unpredictable. She cried. She seemed remorseful. And this must have been a very hard thing for her to go through. And I mean, she never meant for this to happen. And I can't even imagine a worse pain happening to you than kids dying at your concert. It's your fault, technically. You will carry that burden. And it wasn't her fault. It was never her fault. But the pain still is within her. The children died at her concert. You know, it is stories like this that I just hate. Nobody deserves to die. Nobody was meant to die. But the world is cruel.
I'm gonna meet some of these families tonight and put on a pop concert, you know?
So yeah, after looking at every moment of her story, the rise and the fall, I can't help but see it as something more. Because this isn't just a story about fame. It's a story of a young kid who believes she can do something. And she actually did it alongside people who support her. Someone who fought through multiple battles, the highs and the lows. And even after all that, still came out on top. And I realized this story is about authorship. Taking control of your own life, of your own story, and owning who you become. And maybe that's something we can all learn from. Again, thank you for going on to this experience with me. Subscribe and have a great day.